Welcome everyone to Ocean City, Maryland. It's endless summer cruising, day one. We're on Baltimore Avenue, and the weather's just about perfect for taking a nice cruise on the strip. Nice chill in the air. Pleasant weather for driving a classic car or sitting in a lounge chair on the sidewalk and watching all these basically memories go by. It brings back a lot of memories for people, that's for sure. Now, hopefully tomorrow I can get down to the boardwalk and film the parade. I did it back in May, and that's a lot of fun just to walk with the cars. And I think tomorrow's going to be good weather too, because I think we've all been hearing the weather forecasts that are being predicted about a nor'easter forming off the southeast coast and then basically just drifting north up along the mid-Atlantic and spinning for a few days. And if the forecasts are correct, it could be a significant nor'easter. It's been a while since we had a big blow out of the northeast. I think the last big one was Hurricane Ophelia in September of 2023. And then before then, about 3.5 years ago, that was the Mother's Day weekend nor'easter. It actually blew about a whole week, 7 days out of the northeast. There was a lot of beach cleanup to do. It didn't cause any structural damage, but it sure was a lot of sand that got displaced. There was a big cleanup. We'll just have to wait and see what Mother Nature has in store for us. So let's just pop on over here. I'll keep the camera rolling here for a couple more minutes. And if you're new to the channel, we like to film the cars, and we also like to film the storms. And we're going to make a left up here on 9th Street, and then we'll be on Philadelphia Avenue. And that can take you all the way up to the Delaware line. When you get up to 33rd Street, they start calling that Coastal Highway. It's the same road, just has a little bit different name. You see, we're turning right here at 9th Street. And we're going to have a lot of cars, I think, up at 42nd Street. Let's get that camera straight again. Here we got a cool classic car coming up on the left of us. Let me let him pass. Okay, we got another. I want to get over. I'm going to get over. Yeah, let me get over. Yeah, we're looking at classic cars. So up there at the convention center, up around 40th Street, going to be a lot of cars up there for that show. And, of course, down at the inlet, there's probably 2,500 cars registered. I think that's about average, 2,500, 3,000 for this. The one in the spring is called Cruisin Ocean City. That's usually just a little bit bigger. But like I said, filming these classic cars is one thing we do, and storms too. So it's been blowing off the northeast for a while, and we're going to go down and check out the beach too and see what the beach looks like before we get what is supposed to be some significant northeast winds. We'll check out what the beach looks like, how far the water is from the dunes, and then we can judge a little bit of how intense the nor'easter may prove to be. It's a slow time of year, except here for events like this. Things are starting to slow down after a really busy summer. And I think we're going to get the Corvettes back this year. That's really a lot of fun when the Corvettes come down. They weren't able to come last year just because they weren't able to organize it, but I think they're coming down. Yeah, I like to keep the window down when we film here and put the camera in the dash mount so you can hear the engines. I mean, to me, that's part of it. I'm certainly not a motorhead, and a lot of you folks will be able to know what kind of engines are in there and stuff like that a lot better than I can. But that's all part of the experience. And you know, yeah, that's sound too, because when we go down to the ocean, you're going to hear the waves crashing, and well, yeah, sometimes we get some crackling in the microphone. Here, let me pan over here to see if you can identify some of those cars in the southbound lane. I see some classics over there. So this looks like a Chevelle in front of us. That's a Super Sport we were behind over there. I can't identify the cars anywhere near as well as someone that's a real enthusiast. But I get a little more knowledge every year filming it because, well, they're cool to look at, and well, I just have fun filming stuff. It gives me something fun to do. So here, I kind of like this camera angle so you can see both sides of the highway. We're going northbound, and of course on the left, that's southbound. We're up to 36th Street. Let's see what kind of cars we got up here at the convention center lot. Probably going to be a lot of people with their chairs. Yeah, I can see them. I don't know if you can see them through the camera. You see there's people sitting on the benches, just watching the cars go by. And that's what people like to do for this. They like to sit and watch the cars. They talk about the make and model and year, and they talk about what kind of engines and stuff like that are in the cars. So that's day one endless summer cruising. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to pop up here in a couple blocks. We're going to pick a street to go to, a beach access street, and we'll walk down and check out the surf. We'll pick it up here shortly. We decided to stop up here midtown at 65th Street. because, well, honestly, it's one of my favorite places to walk down to because I think the dunes are really cool here. They are really big, tall, and well-established dunes. And that's going to offer a lot of protection here midtown from a strong nor'easter. Winds are already blowing out of the northeast. We're only about an hour and a half from low tide. Now right here, we're going to be able to see a difference in the color of the sand, and we'll be able to tell how high the tide came in this morning, which was about 10 o'clock or so. I'm gonna have to keep my camera into the wind. I know when the wind is calm, I like to pan around and do a 360. I don't want to do that today. So right there, that's how high the tide came in this morning. Like I said, I'm gonna have to keep my camera into the wind to keep the crackling down. Because if I turn around, then you probably might not like all the crackling noise. So there's already a beach hazard statement for today for rip currents, and it said 4 to 6 foot waves. So see, this isn't the real nor'easter, but it's already blowing out of the northeast. That's already some rough stuff. And this is low tide, just about. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. And yeah, I sure hope I get down there and film some really cool cars cruising down the boardwalk tomorrow morning.